The All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council on Sunday night accused the opposition People's Democratic Party flag bearer Atiku Abubakar and his campaign team of chasing shadows. The statement of the APC campaign team was a response to the scathing allegations raised by Atiku's special assistant on public communication, Phrank Shaibu.
Shaibu said and had accused the presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, of having, and he says it, many things to hide by evading debates, non-partisan town hall meetings, and live interviews, further claiming that Tinubu built his entire life and persona on falsehood, hence his decision to continue to run all over the place.
The APC, however, hit back in a statement issued in Abuja on Sunday by the Director of Media and Publicity for the Tinubu Shettima Campaign Council, Bayo Onanuga. Onanuga stated that Atiku's campaign is jittery and has resorted to clout chasing when it is becoming clear that Tinubu would coast home to victory at the February 25th polls.
Meanwhile, this video making the rounds, the wife of the PDP presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, has in what might have been referred to as a slip of the tongue, asked the masses to go collect their PVCs and vote for the opposition party, in this case for them, which is the APC. Let's take a look.
Get it ready 25th. That 25th of February, everybody should come. If you have not collected your PVC, you go and collect your PVC. Get it ready 25th of February. We should vote APC.
Well, I guess our response to this would be one good turn deserves another. We've seen the APC accidentally make reference to the PDP. I mean, the presidential candidate of the APC did one time say PD, APC, obviously, so there's been mistakes, one party calling the other. And at the end of the day, others would argue that there's been mixing and merging of both parties, in the sense that people have been cross-carpeting from the APC to the PDP and back to the APC and vice versa. So,
Well, so I agree, and I would always give people grace, to make mistakes every now and then, which is fine. But, when we're in the heat of electioneering campaigns, there are certain mistakes that would not just be ignored. And that, of course, like the one you mentioned, the APC's presidential candidate mentioning the PDP, and now the wife of the PDP's candidate saying, go, vote the APC. It brings back, the arguments that people have had that both APC and PDP are one and the same. It's the same party, it's the same people, it's the same institution, it's the same establishment. And a lot of people would even argue today that the Republicans and the Democrats in the United States are the same people. All you have is two parties, but it's the same establishment that controls both of them. And that's the same thing in Nigeria. The APC and the PDP, pretty much the same thing. Different parties, different promises, but the same end result, because they are the same people and the same establishment. Exactly. So it's pretty much the same establishment that controls both of them, and that's why. But one thing that will also remind people is that the PDP's candidate, Atiku Abubakar, maybe that's where his wife is getting it from. At some point was an APC member. He dropped the PDP, just before the elections in 2014, 2015, and of course supported the APC's candidate, and then eventually left and went back to the PDP. And so maybe, she still remembers him as an APC member.
Or it's just a random slip of the tongue.
Oh, yes,
like
and that's why I said people grace.
And calling the name of another person. I'm like, sorry, Osage.
But unfortunately, she didn't, if you watch the clip, she didn't even catch herself, even when she was corrected.
Sometimes
she still continued saying,
notice that there's an error.
Well, if you're tired, then rest. And that's why I said, Nigeria's 2023 elections should be for people who are physically, mentally, and in every way fit enough to fully campaign and fully run the affairs of the country.
This does not impact her fitness.
But she's not running for office, so she really is not, that important. But once again, these, mistakes bring back the conversations that really just say that both parties are one and the same.
I beg to differ. You say she's not running for office?
Well,
when the man is running for the office, in a lot of organizations, they will tell you that when the man is running for the office, the real person at the end of the day, somehow behind the scenes, the wife has a huge role to play in the decision making.
There's that. But once again, they're one and the same. They're run by the same establishment. They're guided by the same ideologies. And it will be extremely difficult to convince Nigerians otherwise, because these politicians, almost every single one of them, has been a member of either of both parties at some point in their political career. It's a handful of Nigerian politicians that have stuck with one party all their lives and never, changed or never cross-carpeted. All these persons that you see on your screens today have been in one party or the other at some point. They spend a couple of years here. They realize that maybe this one wouldn't take them, give them that political position that they seek, and so they move to the next.
Can I argue? I want to play the counsel to the accused, and I'm playing devil's advocate here. It's just like with young people before they get married. You try out a relationship, it doesn't work out. You try another one, and one day, eventually, sometimes you go back to one of the relationships you've tried before.
But eventually,
and then you find out that, okay, this was the one all along, and you get married.
But eventually, a person who wants to take you seriously as a husband or a wife would find out that you've tried these many political parties in your dating history. They might have a rethink and say,
why would they have a rethink? Any person who is not able to deal with your past is not a person that should be in
But it really just says, so if you're talking about trying out different partners, in terms of political parties, it means that you're trying out people who are very, very, supposedly very different from each other. You try a slim person today, try, a chubby person tomorrow, try a short person tomorrow, it means that you can't even make up your mind who you really want.
Did you not go to primary school where they give you different numbers and say, find the LCM, find the HCF?